The night she said those words was wrapped in rain and regret, the kind of night that feels like it was waiting for a breaking point. The city lights blurred on the wet glass walls of the penthouse, and in that quiet, fragile moment, a woman who owned companies worth billions felt smaller than she ever had in her life. Her voice shook, her hands trembled, and her eyes followed a man who had already turned his back on too many promises. "Don't go, it's my birthday." Those words hung in the air like a final breath, heavy with everything she had never dared to say before. Before the story pulls you deeper, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of love that changes lives, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from, because stories like this connect hearts across the world. Ethan Carter had learned long ago that life didn't pause for pain. As a single father, every morning began before sunrise, not with ambition or dreams of success, but with the soft sound of his daughter Lily breathing in the next room. He lived in a modest apartment on the edge of the city, where the walls were thin and the future felt thinner. His wife had died years earlier, leaving him with a grief that never fully healed and a responsibility that never allowed him to fall apart. He worked 2 jobs, cleaned his own wounds in silence, and taught Lily to smile even when things were hard. To the world, he was invisible. To Lily, he was everything. Isabella Monroe lived in a different universe. Her name alone moved stock markets. She was known as the youngest self-made female billionaire in the country, a woman who turned loss into legacy and ambition into empire. She lived surrounded by glass, art, and power, yet loneliness followed her like a shadow. Her parents had died when she was young, leaving her wealth but no warmth, success but no safety. She learned to win, but never learned how to be held. Birthdays came and went like corporate milestones, celebrated with champagne and applause that vanished as soon as the lights dimmed. Their worlds collided by accident, the way the most important moments often do. Ethan was working late one evening as a maintenance contractor in one of Isabella's buildings. He didn't know who she was at first, and that was exactly why she noticed him. He didn't flatter her, didn't fear her, didn't recognize the power she carried. He simply fixed what was broken and spoke with the quiet honesty of a man who had nothing left to lose. Over time, small encounters turned into long conversations, and long conversations turned into something neither of them had planned. Ethan struggled with the idea of getting close to someone like Isabella. He had spent years protecting his heart for Lily's sake, afraid that love could disappear again without warning. Isabella struggled with trust, unsure whether anyone could ever want her without wanting her wealth. Yet slowly, through shared coffee breaks, late-night talks, and unspoken understanding, they began to heal pieces of each other they didn't even know were broken. But life tests what matters most. Ethan's daughter fell ill, and the medical bills piled up faster than his strength could carry. His pride kept him silent, refusing help he believed would come with conditions. When Isabella discovered the truth, she offered support not as a billionaire, but as a woman who cared. Ethan misunderstood, believing her kindness was pity, or worse, control. Old fears rose up, telling him that men like him did not belong in worlds like hers. The night of Isabella's birthday arrived quietly, marked only by a gathering she barely cared about. She had hoped Ethan would stay, that this day might mean something different for once. Instead, he stood at the edge of her life, ready to walk away, convinced that leaving was the only way to protect his dignity and his daughter. The city watched as a powerful woman, who never begged anyone for anything, felt her strength crumble. She didn't cry for the money, the empire, or the loneliness she had learned to endure. She cried because for the first time, someone had seen her without her armor, and she was about to lose that too. Her plea wasn't about a birthday. It was about being chosen, not for her power, but for her heart. Ethan left that night carrying a storm inside him. Yet as he walked through the rain, memories followed him. Lily's laughter, Isabella's quiet smiles, the way hope had felt when he allowed himself to believe again. He realized that running had always been his way of surviving, but it had never been his way of living. Strength, he finally understood, wasn't about standing alone. Sometimes it was about standing still and letting someone stand with you. Days passed, heavy and uncertain, until Ethan returned, not as a man seeking rescue, but as a father and a partner willing to try. Isabella didn't need saving, and Ethan didn't need fixing. Together, they needed courage. They chose to build something real, something imperfect, something honest. Not a fairy tale, but a life. Lily's health improved. Isabella learned that love could exist without conditions. Ethan learned that accepting help didn't make him weak. And birthdays, once hollow, became reminders not of age or wealth, but of connection. If this story touched something deep inside you, if it reminded you that even the strongest hearts need kindness, please take a moment to like this video, share it, and leave a comment. Your engagement helps stories like this reach others who might need them today. Comment one word that describes what this story made you feel. In the end, it wasn't the rain, the money, or the birthday that changed everything. It was the moment two broken people chose not to walk away, and discovered that love, when it finally arrives, is worth staying for.